This is Colleen Barber. She's 2 weeks old. She and her mother are waiting for a heart.
You're a pretty girl. Yeah. You are.
Colleen's own heart is so badly deformed, she's only being kept alive by medication and a respirator. Her only hope for life is getting a new heart in a transplant operation.
The waiting is the hardest part. The not knowing what the outcome is. Just the ifs, the whole surgery, but this is her last chance, and we're going to give her that opportunity.
The gamble begins with the removal of the heart from the donor baby. Weighing barely an ounce, it's the size of a walnut. Bailey must decide instantly whether it's healthy enough to transplant.
It's had a little trauma. By and large, it's a good heart.
While waiting for Bailey's decision, the transplant team has been preparing Colleen to receive the heart. The process began several hours ago as bags of ice were used to chill her body. All her blood will be drained from her before the operation, and only if she's chilled to 30 degrees Fahrenheit below her normal temperature will her brain survive the hour or so the operation will take. Bailey carries the donor heart, itself chilled in ice water, from the donor operating room next door to Colleen's. With every moment, the heart is slowly dying.
From our studios in New York, here again is Stone Phillips.
You're having a baby, words many couples can't wait to hear. But imagine getting word that you've got twins on the way, and then something else completely unexpected. You're told your babies are linked together, conjoined twins, a rare condition that could endanger their lives. Most conjoined twins die during pregnancy or soon after birth. Well, the parents you're about to meet were determined their babies would not. Here's Keith Morrison with a Dateline Discovery Channel exclusive.
Two beautiful girls.
You guys have a lot of hair.
Identical twins.
Feeling okay?
Perfect in every way.
Oh,
Except one.
what's the matter?
They're connected to each other. Will they live their whole lives this way, or could they possibly be separated? It's a question Jeff and Michelle Roderick never anticipated when, after 8 years of marriage, they decided to start a family. Delivering the Roderick twins, Shauna and Janelle, is tricky. Dr. Sakala has to get the girls out without damaging the fragile tissue they share. But the birth is a screaming success.
Incredible. I was waiting to hear him cry, of course, and then they did. And it sounded like kittens crying.
Prime time from Los Angeles, Diane Sawyer.
There was a rare event here in California about a month ago. A set of conjoined twins was born. Gabrielle and Michaela Garcia share their entire lower body. They have only 2 legs. Separating them, while technically possible, is very risky. But it is a decision that their parents and doctors must now face. Separate them or let them live on as they are. Tonight, Dr. Nancy Snyderman explores this medical and emotional question with some extraordinary families. It is a story of lives that are intertwined in ways most of us will never understand.
It is May 1st, 1996. Michelle Roderick is about to have her first babies, twins Janelle and Shauna. She's excited and nervous. Babies may be born every day, but Janelle and Shauna are different. Identical twins who never separated from each other completely. An accident of nature on or about the 14th day of their lives in the womb has joined them together from the bottom of the chest through the abdomen, sharing diaphragm and liver.
They're blue. They're blue now, but...
Yeah. Michelle and her husband Jeff first learned that the twins would be joined during a routine ultrasound. Since that time, they have consulted with doctors, agonized, and prayed. But at this moment, they are just proud parents.
Janelle, Janelle and Shauna.
Conjoined twins are extremely rare, about 1 in 100,000 pregnancies. And only about 1 in 10 of those survive past birth.
From the time of our birth, we are, in essence, the same. Yet in other ways, we are fundamentally different. Each of us unique. Each of us an individual. Even when nature doesn't take shape as we expect. This is a story of courage and survival, science and wonder, and the human spirit. It's about twins, joined at birth. Less than 50 conjoined twins are born in the United States a year.
Conjoined twins, you don't have to stare at them because they're just two people stuck together.
For the flight of STS-9, the spaceship Columbia, which flew the first 5 shuttle missions, was completely refurbished, modernized at Cape Canaveral. Its immensely complex hardware showed clearly, shortly before it was mated to a payload. Spacelab 1, 23 feet long, 15 feet in diameter, a big payload even for shuttles. The astronauts have been working out in a Spacelab simulator at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. That's Bob Parker, a mission specialist, who will team with Dr. Garriott. They'll split, each working 12 hours on, 12 off, studying the stars and the Earth.
When people go into space, this is their point of departure. Launch Pad 39 at the Kennedy Space Center. And when future astronauts go out to man orbiting space stations, to colonize the moon, or to explore Mars, they will take communicators with them. And that, perhaps, is a future facet of amateur radio.
The surgical procedure you're about to see represents the re-engineering of an operative technique first described by Dr. Eldridge in 1955 and later modified by Dr. DeBakey and Dr. Crawford for repair of type 3 and type 4 thoracoabdominal aortic aneurysms. This new technique demonstrates the value of maintaining visceral and renal perfusion through tangential thoracic aortic clamping, individual aortic branch vessel reconstruction, and separate distal revascularization. The incision begins paramedian, below the umbilicus, and is carried across the costal margin into the appropriate interspace. The diaphragm is radially divided and inferior pulmonary ligament incised to expose the descending thoracic aorta. A segment of uninvolved thoracic aorta is circumferentially exposed. Below the diaphragm, a retronephric extraperitoneal plane is developed.
This is News Scan for June 1984.
Hello, I'm Gary Eldridge. Welcome to the June edition of News Scan. June promises to be a very busy month around the medical center. Beautification Week is scheduled for June 11 through the 14th. During this time, employees are encouraged to give suggestions on improving the appearance of their departments. Plants will be awarded to those employees with the best ideas. For further details on this contest, see your department head. Also this month, a special seminar on personal money management will be given by the author Harper Ream. Reporter Stephanie Irwin recently talked with Dr. Ream about that seminar.
Hello, we're talking today with Harper Ream, author of the new book, Spending Less.
To be a success in this life, you must first be a good animal.
Starting Monday, a special Alive and Well report on exercise. Who needs it? How much is good or bad? From Red Bank, New Jersey, Gary Eldridge of the Kettering Medical Center talks with Dr. George Sheehan.
Every one of us is a potential athlete.
Exercise, a special report, starting Monday at 5:30 on 22 Alive News.
On the Wright State University campus, classes were suspended in recognition of Veterans Day, and all was quiet except in this building, where a press conference had been called to publicly announce a significant event that may soon greatly change the lives of the millions of paraplegics and quadriplegics throughout the world.
We've begun a series of experiments on walking, and Nan Davis, one of the students in the project, one of the 12 paralyzed students in the project, now is walking.
Like the 11 other student volunteers in the project, Nan Davis has diligently worked day after day, building her strength first on the leg trainer, then the stationary bicycle, and then a remarkable tricycle with its own computer, but nevertheless completely propelled by Nan's legs. The computer interprets information into electrical impulses, which, through surface electrodes strategically placed on the victim's legs, electrically stimulate certain muscles to move by causing them to contract. With special sensing devices, the computer knows how much voltage is needed to move a leg or arm to a predetermined position. After many years of conducting experiments and research, and many hard months of training the university students who have volunteered for this project in this laboratory, it's finally time for the moment of truth.
Okay, ready? Okay, right leg coming up. That's good, man. Okay, left leg coming up. Here. No, left leg. That's the right leg. Right leg. No, okay, it's all right. Right there.
After being paralyzed 4.5 years, Nan Davis, with the aid of electric muscle stimulation, became the first paraplegic to walk again. Granted, it was a bit rough, but each step she takes is a step closer to perfecting the system.
The ultimate aim of the project is to do away with a wheelchair. In practical terms, it might be simpler initially for the next 5 or 10 years to have limited wheelchair time and the rest of the time standing and walking.
Gary Eldridge for Kettering Medical Center and 22's Alive and Well. This is Mount Whitney. At 14,496 feet, it's the tallest peak in the continental United States. Our group has been several days making our way to the top and almost effortlessly leading the way while carrying her share of the load is a remarkably fit and healthy great-grandmother, Huldah Crooks. At age 85, she's well acquainted with each bend of this winding, treacherous trail to the summit since she makes this climb every year. To the other hikers on the mountain's trails, Hulda's familiar face always bears a warm, friendly smile as she stops to share part of her testimony of healthful living.
You young people are my target. If I can keep you inspired so that you'll keep on taking care of your health so you can do what you're doing now.
Climbing Mount Whitney has become an annual event for Hulda. She has done so for the past 19 years, starting when she was 66, thus making this effort her 20th triumphant victory.
I think it's my witness, and I'd like to get this across to the young people especially, to take care of their health while they have it, and to keep on a good health program as they go through life.
Hulda says it's not the last time she'll climb Whitney. For as long as she's able, she's going to keep on climbing. From the summit of Mount Whitney, this is Gary Eldridge for NBC News.